Welcome to the Grammar Zone. Today we're going to differentiate the differences between the past tense, the past perfect tense, and the present perfect tense. Now, let's look at the questions. Question number 1. When I went to bed, I turned on the radio while somebody turned it off. Now you can see that the thing happens in the past, and you can see a keywords over here, while. While is a conjunction that we use to join two sentences. Normally we use the longer action, the sentence with the longer action with the conjunction while. So you can see that these two things happened almost at the same time. When somebody was doing this and this happened. So while we have to use past continuous tense. While I was sleeping, somebody turned off. So the answer is, when I went to bed, I turned on the radio. While I was sleeping, somebody turned it off. Question number 2. You're from Australia. I never there. I would like to go there someday. Now look at sentence number 2. You can see the leading sentence is actually written in the present simple tense. You're from Australia. The person is from Australia. And this person who asked the question had never been there before. So we know this is an experience of a person from the past up to this point. So we know that we have to use present perfect tense. So the answer is, I have never been there. I would like to go there someday. So sentence number 2, you're from Australia. I have never been there. I would like to go there someday. Sentence number 3. I started to tell Rodney the news, but he stopped me. He already it. You can see that the sentence is in past tense, which means the whole thing happened in the past. Now, the person was trying to tell Rodney something, but Rodney was not listening because past perfect tense. He had already heard it. The only reason why he not listening to this person is because Rodney had already heard it before. So it happened, this action actually happened before the person started to tell Rodney the news. Now, question number 4. When Gina went to bed, it was snowing. It still when she woke up in the morning. Now you can see that in this a thing happened in the past, went to bed and it was snowing. Now here you can see the same conjunction when. Normally we use when in past continuous tense to join the action, the shorter action, the sentence with the shorter action. In this case is she woke up. And here we have to write it in the past continuous tense. So it was still snowing. So when she woke up, it was still snowing outside. So the answer for number 4 is, when Gina went to bed, it was snowing. It was still snowing when she woke up in the morning. Sentence number 5. Rita called me on the phone to tell me the good news. Her final exam in English. Now, you can see that the whole thing happened in the past. So Rita called this person on the phone to tell her a good news. So which means whatever she had done before had happened. So she had passed her English final exam, happened before she called her. So we have to use past perfect tense here. She had passed. Means the action of passing the final exam in English has been finished before Rita called the person. So the answer of number 5 is, Rita called me on the phone to tell me the good news. She had passed her final English exam in English. Number 6. I couldn't think the people around me too much noise. Finally, I gave up and left to try to find a quiet place to work. Now you can see the person was trying to work. Now the people around that person was making too much noise. They were doing that at the time when the person was trying to study. So we know that we have to use the past continuous tense for this. I couldn't think, past tense. So the person was trying to do something. The people around him or her were because people making too much noise. So the answer of number 6 is I couldn't think the people around me were making too much noise. Finally, I gave up and left to try to find a quiet place to work. Let's look at question number 7. Are you still waiting for David? He yet? It's already late, isn't he? Now we're talking about something from the past up till now. So we saw a keyword. There is a keyword yet. Yet is normally a keyword that we use with perfect tenses. Now remember, yet can only be used in a question or a negative sentence. In this case, we know that it's a question, but here, we'll have to write it in a negative form. So are you still waiting for David? Still true now, we have to use the present perfect tense. Has with not. Hasn't he come, came, come. Hasn't he come yet? He's already late, isn't he? So the answer for number 7 is, are you still waiting for David? Hasn't he come yet? He is already late, isn't he? Let's look at question number 8. A couple of weeks ago, Mr. Fox, our office manager, surprised all of us. When he walked into the office, a t-shirt and jeans. Everybody stopped and stared. Mr. Fox is a conservative dresser. Before that time, he never anything but blue or gray suit. And he his jeans to the office since that time. He wore them only that one time. Now let's look at the sentences. The whole thing happened in the past, so we have to immediately know it's either past continuous or the past perfect tense. Let's look at the first one. We can see that the first question is linked with the conjunction by the conjunction when. Now we know that when is a conjunction that would used with a shorter action, so the sentence is most likely to be written in the past continuous tense. So when he walked into the office, he was wearing. So when he walked into the office, he was wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Everybody stopped and stared. Mr. Fox is a conservative dresser. Conservative means 保守的. Before that time, he anything but blue or gray suit. Now, before that time, you know, it happened before this day, and this day is in the past. So for this, we have to use the past perfect tense. Before that time, he had never worn anything but blue or gray suit, and his jeans to the office since that time. And from that day, he had never worn anything like that, only on that day. And he hasn't worn, because since from that day up till today, he hasn't worn his jeans to the office since that time. He wore them only that one time. So from that time, the only time he showed up with the suit, with a t-shirt and jeans, only that time, from that day forward up till now, he has never worn his jeans to the office again. So for this, something that happens from the past up till now, we have to use the present perfect tense. So the answer for number 8 is, a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Fox, our office manager, surprised all of us. When he walked into the office, he was wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Everybody stopped and stared. Mr. Fox is a conservative dresser. Before that time, he had never worn anything but blue or gray suit, and he hasn't worn his jeans to the office since that time. He wore them only that one time. Now, thank you for watching this.